Department of Mass Communication and Journalism, Mount Carmel, who has warmly accepted our invitation to join us today. Hearty welcome, Jyotika. Academician, renowned brand communicator and an esteemed freelancer whose work has made significant contribution in the field of education, communication and business strategy. It's our privilege to have us here. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon. You guys have had lunch? Yes, ma'am. I know after a lunch or session like this it's quite difficult to sit, but I've been teaching since a decade, and I know afternoon classes are very difficult for students and teachers as well. But we also would have had a nice lunch. We would also take some nap, but we have to come and teach. And for you also it is like, I try to make it a little bit interactive. Because the topic that was told to me was with regard to the National Education Day, in relation to National Education Day. So do you guys realize what is National Education Day and why are we celebrating this? No idea? Okay. What is education basically? Knowledge. And beyond knowledge, what is education? Beyond knowledge, learning something, knowledge. Beyond that, understanding. Understanding the topics of the subjects that you need to teach. Beyond that, it is your way of life. Yeah, nice, wonderful answer. Beyond that, so if I say education, the only thing that comes into your mind is knowledge. I like your vision, spirit of inquiry. What is spirit of inquiry? Have you guys read the vision and mission of inquiry?
Full cinematic.
Okay, so it is there from September 2008. I don't think any of us celebrated it then. Now I think we have realized or we have awakened to the concept of National Education Day, and we have started appreciating and acknowledging that there is some day like this where we need to appreciate what is being done and what has been contributed to us for us to grow basically. Okay, so he as a person, whatever you hear, UGC, AICTE, basically all of you are trained for the industry. Basically we are like the production company over here, where we are producing for the companies that are waiting to observe. So we are just making you, so every work, every minute work that you do is education. Okay, that is basic funder of education. So there are various institutions that are brought. I think nowadays if we go back to our olden days of education, it was basically where they are making you physically and mentally very strong to face all kinds of problems that come in the society. Okay, if you go back to our olden ancient kind of education, it's basically where we had a Gurukula system where they used to train you so that you are prepared for the society both physically and mentally. Then in the medieval, I think they didn't have a curriculum as such like the way we have now. The curriculum that we are having now is basically that we have imbibed from the West Stream. Okay, earlier we didn't have a curriculum like this where what is required in the society and what is the curriculum that we create now. That is imbibed from the, I think you would have experienced here. So if, most of the times I tell the auto guys in my college, where do you want to go, you tell me I'll come there now. Because whichever place that you tell them, they are not ready to come to that place, particular place. They will say no. So sometimes they ask, where do you want to go, you tell me. We've been you quite a long time. So it has made our life easier. So you have Namayati, you have, first it was Ola, then it was Uber, then now you have Namayati. Namayati is a different level altogether, if you will see. Then they said, okay, to students can't afford to go in autos and cabs, then we go for Rapido company. There is something called as Kaban Tree. It's a new concept. Sunday morning, if you go to Kaban Park, there is something called as Kaban Reads where you just carry your mat and a book. and you can just spread your mat across in cupboard wall and you can read a book. There's a community that is created there. It's called as Carbon Trees. It's an initiative to bring the community together. It's an initiative to make people read during the digital age. That is a new thought process. No one, I think all of you are in a digital age. I don't know whether you're into a reading habit. So I think morning when you get up, you would take up your phone. And I don't know, many a times I feel it's the students then to students now, because you're understanding what is happening around you. You're understanding what is the need. You're contributing to the society in some way. No case you're also contributing to yourself because you're making money as well. But there are certain things that we have to do. And there are certain initiatives that we have to come up. I think nowadays we have a lot of initiatives that surrounds around climate change. We talk a lot on climate change. I don't know whether you guys are aware of it. Because I think drastically you can see a lot of change in the climate happening. Recently, when there was a disaster in the Wayanad, I think all of you know the Wayanad disaster, right? There was a huge landslide. Okay, I think I read a beautiful article with regard to the Wayanad disaster where it said that we might forget how the nature is, but the nature never forgets its course of action. I think you could see that they said that you might build the buildings, but the river knows the way it has to flow. It will never forget the way it has to flow, and even if there are buildings, it will flow over the building. It doesn't care. So I think because of that, I think we have started talking about the climate change. I think one of the best examples of climate change is Bangalore. Okay, so that's one of the best examples because we were called as a garden city. We were called as a city of lakes. It's not just finishing your education and going for a job. Even when you go for a job, what am I going to do something special that will ensure that I shine there? That is what makes a difference in an individual. That is what is required currently. Okay? This is a topic you have to write. So you're a communicator. And I have to write it. Based on my press release, I got a job. He was least bothered about what is the percentage. Based on that, you have to try to bring the solution. I think pizza was one of the best examples for that. So I think if you can see, you have tandoori pizza. Based on our flavors, our tongue. Because Indians are not used to eating bland pizzas. Chicken teriyaki. You can say, learn something beyond. Why don't you just go? Why don't you explore the city and learn? There's a lot in the city to learn. Not in the campus. Not on the phone. When you see the world, then you will try to understand. Seeing the world is not just seeing around. Seeing the world is seeing beyond what you could see. We always say, in journalism we always say, see beyond what normal people can see. Then only I would say a lot of initiatives are a part that is trying to bring the community together. A lot of initiatives that have been started by youngsters like that, who are not even have a degree. They are still working, they are still studying, and they are doing something else simultaneously. I have one student, I think while she was studying, she was a very good student. I think the perfect student that I saw in my life, who used to do her work just like this, but at the same time you ask her anything about around what is happening, she used to do it. She used to know it. And she had her own business. She's an entrepreneur. She has her own baking business. And after her degree, and I think with the scores that she was rank holding, the scores that she had, I thought, okay, she might be doing master's and PhD. She came one day and she said, ma'am, I quit studying this. I don't want to pursue my studies. I think I've done enough. I have my business. I'll just do my business. And at the same time, she's a freelancer. She's a content creator for many of the brands. With just a BA in journalism and literature. She creates content. And she has a business. So that is what is required. It's not just the certificate, it's just that how you want to on the others.
रहो
I think I'll stop with this because it will be too much beyond just for you and for me as well. So is there any questions or is there anything that you want to ask? Clarify, you can do. If there is nothing, I feel that there are two things. One, you would have understood everything, or you wouldn't have understood anything.
हेलो अस्सलाम वालेकुम कहीं फरहान
You didn't understand.
अगर तिकिरिक हुई थी कहीं
Okay, so that is what. If you have any questions, you can ask. Otherwise, I'm done.
हो कहीं सब
No questions? I'm very happy to know you.
एरिया में कौन सा करता एरिया में कौन सा करता तो ऐसा है क्या है कि दोस्त को मारने वास्ते 15-20 जने छकरदा आते हैं कॉलेज में ही हमें अंदर ही अभी सेमिनार क्या चल रहा है वहाँ ही आँखों खड़ी हैं थे बाहर देखेंगे और क्या होता है हाँ देखो कितने जने होती होते हैं हाँ देखो 15-15 उसका नहीं गाड़ी नहीं है कहते उसको खान करने बाकी पूरे छोड़ना हैदराबाद में ही हैदराबाद बाद 5 मिनट में फ़ोन कर ले मैं आता हूँ हमें नहीं क्या भी नहीं होता क्या भी नहीं होता क्या भी नहीं होता टेंशन ले लो चिल नहीं
Thank you, ma'am.